Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 100 of the Occasional Bugle podcast.
I thought you were
I'm
serious
Andrew.
for a second and I got very excited.
Yeah, it's our 100th episode. We've been doing this consistently
For 100 weeks.
for
Hello.
100 years. I'm Andrew.
I am Jonathan. Happy holidays.
Happy
It is
Hanukkah, everyone.
December 28th. Long time no see.
I got some tea today because I feel a burning rage building
Oh
that
gosh.
I'm ready to unleash by the end of this episode. So, today we're talking about just so much Star Wars shit. Like I think this is our first like Star Wars centric episode.
Yeah, I would say so. Because we've
Right.
mostly just shit on DC and
Hell
then
yeah.
some Marvel.
Yeah, we'll give Zack Snyder a break this week. I'm sure there's plenty of news to talk about because he won't shut the fuck up about the Snyder cut. But we're just sticking Star Wars this week.
Hell yeah.
So without further ado, when did this happen? It was last week. Disney had their like big investor meeting.
Yes.
Where they met up with a bunch of big corporate fat cats and showed off their whole slate of reveals for the next 400 years. Everything you could think of to announce, they announced it. And we can talk a little bit about like the outcome of announcing so much stuff and kind of what that does to the Star Wars brand and franchise. But for now, let's just talk a little bit about kind of all the stuff they came out with. Oh, also, we're talking about The Mandalorian Season 2.
Ooh.
All right. So the first thing they announced was Season 3 of The Mandalorian, obviously.
So excited.
It's the biggest thing in the world. And not to throw the game away too early, but I'm very excited for this because of how good Season 2 was.
Me too. I'm excited to see, especially now with how it ended, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
With how it ended, I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah. We didn't really get a lot of information about this other than that it's happening. They said it would be happening Christmas 2021, but that has since been pushed back slightly to 2022.
No, I didn't know that. No, really sad.
Well, that's because of
That's
an
COVID.
announcement that came out after this.
Oh.
That came in the wake of the season finale, which we'll get into. So yeah, not much information given on this. I hope they keep doing what they're doing and like making the show just a Trojan horse for Dave Filoni to bring in Clone Wars and Rebels characters.
I love it. Love it.
I like Kathleen Kennedy said at the investor meeting that like all of these shows that are set in the same timeline, they're all kind of building to like an event.
No way, actually.
Yeah. So I have my thoughts on what that's going to be, which we can get into once we start talking about The Mandalorian. So yeah, I am very excited for that. It's sometime 2022, I assume, like January or early.
Okay.
Next up, Andor.
Ooh.
My boy Cassian Andor. It's a Rogue One prequel. It's like a spy espionage war thing. It is headed up by Tony Gilroy, who he did some work on The Mandalorian, or not The Mandalorian, on Rogue One. It's in production. They showed off like a sizzle reel type thing of all the like behind the scenes stuff. It looks like a good time. I hope we get more K2SO.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. That would be amazing.
He was one of the better characters in that movie.
He's a gem and deserves to be protected.
I'm dying.
No, don't do that.
They also announced a couple new cast members. First off, the biggie, my boy Stellan Skarsgård from Thor, is joining the cast.
Nice.
I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. Adria Arjona, Fiona Shaw, Denise Goff, Kyle Soller, and Genevieve O'Reilly, who played Mon Mothma in Rogue One and Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Mon Mothma's back. And another interesting note that it says here, this will be the longest live-action Star Wars series with 12 episodes as opposed to the normal 8 or 6.
Okay. I'm down for that. As long as it's good, I don't care. I don't care how many it is.
Exciting times. This one I'm mainly excited about just for the possibility that it could tie into Rebels somehow.
Oh,
like not necessarily. Like obviously, this takes place the same time as Rebels, more or less.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we get some kind of crossover because I just rewatched Rogue One fairly recently, and in the background of one of the scenes when they're at the Rebel base, you can hear them calling Hera's name.
Yep.
So that's a good. I never noticed that because I'd never watched Rebels before, but that's fun. I like that.
Wait, did they say her name or was it Syndulla?
They said Captain Syndulla.
That could be her father, also.
I think it's her though, because
I also think it's her, but
she's more involved than her dad. Her dad's fucking asshole.
Yes, I agree.
I love John though.
Yeah, he's funny. But yeah, no. And then I don't know. Did you see that the ghost was in the battle too?
That was in The Rise of Skywalker.
And Rogue One.
Really?
Yeah, it's in Rogue One.
Interesting.
It's in both because I saw it. Because I remember hearing about it in Rogue One. Then I went back and looked, and then when watching Rise of Skywalker, I was like, I'm gonna look for ships that are recognizable, and I saw it. I was like, the ghost is there. They're still alive.
It's a great show.
Oh, it's so good. I have to rewatch it, but I want to rewatch Clone Wars first.
It picks up season 3, season 4 when they bring in the big boy Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yeah,
but it's a strong show, and obviously when they bring in Darth Maul.
Oh, Maul was a great addition to that. I'm so glad they did that.
Somehow became one of the best characters in Star Wars after being nothing for years.
Yeah, literally being cut in half and like, oh, he was cool. They should have done more. And now, like, look at him.
Okay, next up we have the Rangers of the New Republic. So this is another one of the ones that's set at the same time as The Mandalorian. It's I assume this is going to be like the Cara Dune, Gina Carano led series.
Oh, okay. I didn't
because
think of that,
she becomes like a deputy or whatever of the New Republic.
Right. Maybe that's like setting it up.
So yeah.
I was thinking it was going to be Dave Filoni's pilot character. No,
I wish. I think I hope we see more Bill Burr in this.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to, but big highlight of season 2 of The Mandalorian for me.
So good.
Yeah, we don't really have a lot of information on this, other than just, post Return of the Jedi, same time as The Mandalorian. I don't even it's developed by Jon Favreau. So,
yes.
And right after that, we got Ahsoka. Now, this is going to be something.
It's going to be very interesting. Did you hear that it might be a limited series, so it might just be one season?
Yeah, I think.
Did you tell me that?
I don't think so, but I think this is one of them. It doesn't say here, but I imagine this will probably be like one of the 6 episode ones as opposed to 8.
Right.
Which I'm fine with. You don't need to drag it out if you don't need to. They're going to do more of that weird time travel shit with the world between worlds.
Oh, from Rebels?
From Rebels, yeah. So this seems, out of all of the shows, this seems the most directly tied to Rebels.
Okay.
because like that the world between world shit that's in the logo for the show.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And like in regards to her motivation for the series, I don't want to give anything away too quickly, but it ties into something we learned during her appearance in The Mandalorian. So this is something I'm very excited for because I love that character.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't know but it's Rosario Dawson back, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely excited for this one. Kind of came out of nowhere. Like I wasn't expecting
I wasn't expecting it
anything
either.
like this.
I'm surprised. Like, okay, I'm not surprised, but if they announced this a couple years ago, I would have been like, oh, it's gonna be a movie
Yeah,
because it did Solo.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
think it's smarter that they do TV
I
because no one
prefer
knows who
this. Yeah,
Ahsoka is, so who's gonna really go see it?
yeah. I would say she's definitely more in the public eye than she was.
I do agree with that, but I also feel like you're not gonna get like the OG Star Wars people, which is probably who they were aiming at for the most part.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
I would almost say like so much of these announcements and the Mandalorian itself is built off of Clone Wars and Rebels. So
Right.
I'd
Yeah,
almost
I
say
would agree with that.
that's more the audience they're catering to,
Yeah, which I
which
like
which
because
I like, and I also have problems with that we'll get into.
right.
Uh, Next up, easily my favorite announcement, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And then Hayden Christensen's coming back.
Yes, he is. Um, I'm interested to see like what capacity he's going to be in this. Like, is he going to just be in the suit? Are we going to get like a different look where it's more Anakin-y? Is he going to be like heavy prosthetics the whole time?
I don't know because
I assume we're going to get like Clone Wars flashbacks.
definitely, which I'm excited for some live action Clone Wars flashbacks.
Definitely.
But I don't know, just because like he was in the suit right after he was burned, so I don't think that he's not going to be in the suit.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I was kind of disappointed that that's how Revenge of the Sith ends, because like maybe we want some cool like alternate, like maybe Vader has like a winter outfit.
A winter outfit.
He's got like a big fur cloak
that
in
that
case he
actually
gets
be pretty cool.
cold. I mean,
I don't know, those burns, maybe they warmed him forever.
I mean, he's just a chest, a head, and stumps. But like, I imagine the suit has heating. But I would have liked to have seen some alternate looks, and I think we might get something like that in this. Because why else would you have Hayden Christensen?
Right. I mean, definitely for flashbacks, but
Yeah.
um, yeah. Do you think they're gonna have James Earl Jones do the voice, or do you think they're gonna stick with? I mean, they have to, right?
Yeah, I mean that's another like how because they've made it very clear like Hayden Christensen will return as Darth Vader,
Right. So maybe he's just like the stand-in.
which yeah, I guess like it's like the Pedro Pascal thing, like you have this great big name actor, but like you stick him in a helmet the whole time.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see. They made it very clear that like they would be fighting again, so we get
I'm
that
down.
rematch. Hopefully, it's not as fucking long as the one from Revenge of the Sith.
Honestly, I have to rewatch the prequels. I haven't seen them in probably 10
Oh
years.
my god, that lightsaber! Like people are like, it's the best one in the prequels. Like maybe, but it's so fucking long. It's like 10 minutes
Is it actually?
of them just swinging their lightsabers around.
Wow. Okay.
Whatever. But and yeah, this is like this has been the series is what I've been looking forward to since they said like yeah we're doing more Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, me too. I
Like
mean, I
this
was
is
hoping
it.
for the movie, but I'd rather
I'd rather
I'm
a
fine with the
series
series. Yeah.
because like Obi-Wan definitely my favorite character in Star Wars, and like even more so after watching Clone Wars and Rebels a little bit.
Now, do you
Like
think this is another one that's a limited series that's going to
yes,
be
I
like one
think
season?
yeah they mentioned it's a miniseries. I think this is like 6 episodes.
Okay.
Which
So do you think it's going to be just one season like Ahsoka?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I hope so. Like you don't need to do anything else. Just leave him be.
Right, yeah. Because there's not much, honestly, in that time frame, unless you're going to go. They could do that. If they go prior to episode 1 or in between, like they could do other Obi-Wan stuff, but it would have to be in between like 1 and 2. You don't want to do in between 2 and 3 because that's Clone Wars, but you could do before 1 with him as a Padawan, but then what's the point, for Ewan McGregor?
Yeah, I like him training young Anakin, like I don't really. I don't need to see anything else because this is the Obi-Wan I'm most interested in seeing.
Right.
Like what happened to this guy?
Right. What'd he do for like 20 years?
Yeah. And it's interesting because I always thought that whatever this Obi-Wan series was going to be the showdown with Darth Maul, but we already have that. So it's kind of crazy that they're like, fuck it, Vader.
Yeah. No, I agree. That is
yeah,
pretty interesting.
Very cool. Very excited. Another one I'm very excited for is The Bad Batch. Very excited for this because I love the Clone Wars and I loved their arc from the final season.
Oh yeah, same.
It was a lot of fun.
I was like, they're really introducing one of the most badass little like special ops clone troopers at the very end. I was like, maybe they're gonna get a spinoff, but I doubt it. And then now they got one, and I'm so excited. And it's after Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been fine if it was during, but it was after.
I saw a very interesting piece of speculation, which is that one of the villains of the show might be Commander Cody.
I was literally just thinking about that. I was like, they're gonna interact with Cody.
Because like in it you see like these Black Ops stormtroopers. They kind of look like proto Death Troopers. But like with like the green visors and shit.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah,
people are saying like that might be Cody.
Interesting.
So that'd be really cool. Also, shout out to D. Bradley Baker for voicing like pretty much every character in this show.
Yeah, literally.
What an amazing voice actor.
Yeah, especially like he can just the different inflections he can do for different troopers.
And like even more so with the Bad Batch.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. And we get my boy Echo joining up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, also in the trailer we see the Dark Troopers, which we'll get into a little bit later, but those show up in The Mandalorian. So it's very exciting to see, like, I guess the origins of those.
Right.
So next up, Star Wars Visions. This is like the anime one.
Is it canon?
Like,
is it just gonna be like one-offs?
It could be canon, but it also could just be like exaggerated short stories because it's a series of animated short films. That's the description here. They didn't announce any like creatives behind it, but all they said is some of the best anime creators in the world. So
I just don't know how interested I am. I'm gonna be.
I'm like obviously they didn't tell us literally, like they told us literally nothing about it other than Star Wars and anime.
Right.
So, but I'm excited to see what it can be.
Me too. Yeah, I'm definitely like I'm not excited, but I'm not like over the moon. Like, oh yeah, they're doing it.
It all depends on like the stories they decide to tell.
Right. Yeah.
Next up, Lando. So in a bunch of news sites were reporting that it's definitely Donald Glover.
That's good.
But they didn't announce that here. So I'm thinking it'll be both of them. It'll be Billy D and Donald Glover. And it'll be like different points in his life. Or like Billy D. Williams will like bookend the story.
Right. Now, is that another one that's going to be just one season, or you think they're going to do more? Because they can do a lot with Lando. He hasn't been in anything.
They said they called this an event series, so I imagine it's a one-off.
Okay.
It is
Good for Donald
helmed,
Glover.
like one of the best parts of Solo.
Yeah, 100%.
A movie that I've started to warm up to a little bit, but
I like that movie a lot. Like,
it's
it's not my favorite, but I didn't hate it.
on rewatch. It's a good time.
Mhm.
Um, Showrunner Justin Simeon from Dear White People.
Hmm.
So I haven't seen that, but
I haven't seen it either.
yeah, I'm very excited for this, especially if we get more Donald Glover
Yeah. Oh, I love Donald Glover so
because
much.
he's so great.
He is. He's amazing.
Um, yeah, we didn't really get again not too much information to go into here, but it's just exciting that like they're like because this had been rumored for a long time,
Right.
and then just to finally hear them say like, yeah, we're doing it.
Right. Yeah.
The next one I'm very excited for, the Acolyte.
Yeah. After what you sent me for that, how it's like
Yeah,
going to explore like the dark side of the Force, I was very
yeah,
excited.
it's so the tweet here, the description. Leslie Headland brings a new Star Wars series to Disney Plus with The Acolyte. It's a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era.
Is the High Republic from like the New Republic?
No, no. So the High Republic, the way I understand it, the High Republic era kind of is 50 to 100 years before the Phantom Menace.
Okay. Meanwhile, like the computer, like the
The
PC
Old
game, the
Republic,
New
that's
Republic,
thousands
the
of
Old
years ago.
Republic. That's what I'm
It's
thinking.
thousands of years ago
You're
and
right.
not canon.
Sadly. Well, Revan is now,
Yeah,
so
but in name only. But yeah, um, they're definitely going to bring those characters back because they're too popular. But yeah, I'm really excited for this because it's a new timeline in Star Wars that we haven't seen, and I
right.
know they're doing like a big like cross media push with the High Republic. That they're doing comics, they're doing books, they have
Oh,
this. So
I hate
I'm
that they do books. I don't read.
I might because I'm like I might read some of the Thrawn stuff
Okay.
because I love Thrawn, but that's all supposed to be very good. A note here in this article is like this could be like the origins of Palpatine,
Ooh, and Plagueis.
which I fucking better not see Palpatine in this. I'm so
Yeah, I've
fucking
had
sick of that
enough.
guy.
I've had enough of Palpatine.
Like after the Rise of Skywalker, bad fucking taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I really wasn't happy about that. I was like, really? Like, this could have been so
Oh
much
Lord,
more, and it wasn't.
you know what? It could have been more if they had just made it a fucking sequel to the movie that came before it. But people didn't like that one too much.
Present company included.
We'll get
I like
into
it
it.
as a movie, but yeah,
We'll
we'll
get
get
into
into
it.
it.
They mentioned Dathomir here.
Oh, did they?
I was well in the article, not in the press release, but I always like going to Dathomir because it sucks.
You don't think that it could be like an origin of Darth Maul?
I don't think it
I
lines
think they
up
would have named him
timeline
Maul.
wise. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we'll maybe like if Dathomir is even in this, like we'll see like the Night Brothers and the Night Sisters, but
Okay.
um yeah um yeah they described it as like a mystery thriller,
I'm excited.
which that's cool. Like do more weird genre stuff in
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Don't just make like
Solo's a heist movie and it's a good time. You don't need to make every Star Wars movie a Star Wars movie.
right. Yeah, yeah.
The Mandalorian is a western. Like
Right. And it's like it's a western that feels very Star Wars, and
yeah,
that's like just and like you said, just do genre stuff
the originals,
that
the
feel like
original
Star Wars.
trilogy, like some of it is like samurai movies. So
Oh,
that's where like Lucas got his inspiration from, like old samurai
yeah,
movies,
yeah, I've heard
like
that.
the fuck, what's his name? Like literally the most famous director. can't remember his fucking name. Kurosawa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next up, Rogue Squadron.
Patty Jenkins is back.
Patty Jenkins.
Not that she was ever there for Star Wars, but
Yeah. She talks about how like they did like a video introducing this, and she was like, yeah, my dad was a fighter pilot, and I want to make the best fighter pilot movie. So that's cool.
yeah, I like that a lot. It seems that it's a passion project of hers,
Yeah.
so I'm very hopeful that it's going to be good.
Yeah, they mentioned specifically that like they're like taking stuff from comics and shows and video games.
So Squadrons, like the game
Yeah.
Squadrons. Okay.
Yeah, and also like the Rogue Squadron games from the 90s and the X-Wing TIE Fighter games.
Cool.
They mentioned here in the article like it'd be cool to see Hera in live action.
That would be cool.
Because obviously this is her shit.
Right. And we'll get Dave Filoni back as a fighter pilot.
Yeah. My feelings about Wonder Woman 1984 notwithstanding, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, me too.
And for Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie, all they mentioned was it's happening.
I'm fine with that. As long as he's still getting something.
Yeah, definitely.
Then the poor whatever people that wrote Game of Thrones got nothing.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
You know what I do care about is the cowards. Disney won't give Rian Johnson his trilogy.
I got nothing to say.
That he deserves. Because he made a great movie.
I think he made a great movie, but not... I think if they were going to give him his own trilogy, they should have just given him his own trilogy instead of doing JJ, him, JJ again. But I know the plan wasn't to use JJ twice. It was to do 3 different directors, but I think that plan was stupid the entire time.
I think, like, honestly, with the way these movies turned out, it should have been Rian Johnson for all 3.
I think it depends on what story they were trying to tell.
He seems to be the only... Of him and JJ, he seems to be the one that actually cares about Star Wars. Or, like, isn't blinded by nostalgia for it.
That's fair.
Because JJ is just like, oh, look, it looks like Star Wars. But Rian Johnson's actually, like, asking questions about the universe and is putting thought into everything he does. And is not just pandering to expectations.
That's fair, but I also think he destroyed Luke's character.
I disagree, but we can get into it when we get to The Mandalorian.
Gotcha.
Speaking of which, let's get into The Mandalorian.
Okay. Great season.
Great season. Straight off the bat, yeah, big step up from season 1, I feel.
Right.
Because I liked the first season, but a lot of the time it felt like it was kind of spinning its wheels.
Yeah, like it was honestly just an introduction, but it's like sometimes you need that.
And also,
kind of
sorry,
for just other like the rest of it to be better, you just need some of the like lesser episodes.
Yeah. I just don't feel they did enough last season. Like I like that it was very like small scale, but it almost felt like we didn't really get a lot of characterization.
Right.
Like Mando especially, like you get a big step up in who he is as a person in this. Like he actually has some personality this time around.
Right, instead of just being like, I'm the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Fear me, bitch.
Yeah. It's like he like obviously Pedro Pascal is a fucking phenomenal actor, but like
100%.
The moments where you get where it's just him, like really great.
I agree. He emoted a lot more in this.
Yeah.
So from this point on, spoilers, if you haven't seen it yet, go.
Before we get into spoilers, do you have any like kind of blanket statements you want to make?
There were I I don't really have a lot of complaints, honestly, about this season. There's like one thing that comes to mind when I think about it. Um, but besides that one thing, there's
Okay.
not really anything.
Yeah. So like just some general stuff I have is
Mm-hmm.
like I love for the most part how connected this is to stuff that came before it, like
Yes. Okay.
especially
Yeah.
Clone
I agree
Wars
with
and
that.
Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes it feel more like a part of the universe. And like
Yeah.
sometimes like
Yeah.
I get like some like a very valid complaint people have is like it at one point are you taking the show away from Mando and just making it about other shows,
Right.
which
Like
I think that's a very valid complaint.
I guess that's yeah. Okay. And now I have something to say. I guess this show
Yeah,
kind of set up this season kind of set up other shows.
yeah. This was a backdoor pilot to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. But they did it well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Like I don't have any complaints where I was like, that was a waste of an episode because we just wanted to introduce that plot line.
Yeah, yeah. Like this, this like, fuck. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Like I feel like while they do throw a lot of stuff at the wall, I feel like most of it sticks, and you don't really lose anything from the previous season.
Right.
Like obviously you lose like Carl Weathers for most of it, but
That's the guy that
Grief. He's on Navarro. He
right.
becomes like the
Right.
not
I
the
was gonna say
sheriff, but
Apollo Creed.
yeah, Apollo Creed. um, Another thing is like do you know like how they like film the show? Like they don't really use blue screen or green screen. It's like
Yeah, it's all
they,
prosthetic, right?
but not even that. It's like any like environment settings. It's like a huge like TV basically
Oh,
that like they play the environment on and
that's
then
pretty
kind of
cool.
touch it up to so like if you're an actor on set you don't have to necessarily act to a green screen or nothing. You're like you can see what you're trying to react to.
That's pretty cool.
And I feel there were some instances where it's like okay this environment feels very like artificial and closed off but it never really detracts from the show, I don't think.
Right. I would agree with that. I didn't know that was how it was filmed,
Yeah,
so I didn't
yeah.
even feel that at all. Um, I do want to watch the documentary though on like how
Me
it's made.
too, me too.
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
I really want to look into that because I haven't because they just came out with the one for season 2 and I haven't even watched the first one.
Oh, they did two, like
Yeah,
one for each season. That's
yeah.
cool. You think they're gonna do that for every Star Wars show?
I hope so
Yeah,
because I'd like to see stuff.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Um, Action was great.
Yep,
One episode in particular I feel really stands out.
I think I know it. Episode 6.
No, it's episode. I don't know the numbers, but I think it's episode 3.
Okay.
Um,
I also really like the one thing I have to say. I like that they because so many like especially with superhero shows, any and just like spy movies and everything, the main character is always like super elite and stuff. I like that he's not like he is elite,
he's kind of a goof though.
but yeah, like he takes hits. Like he's not just like, oh, I got hit once, but I'm gonna hit you 8 more times and you go down like quickly or like coolly. Like he just is like a brawler and like
Yeah,
he can just kind of like a boxer almost, where he can
yeah,
like
yeah,
last, take a hit, and knock people out, but he's also like knows what he's doing.
yeah. Like last season, there was a whole episode to him getting the shit kicked out of him by a rhino.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like he wasn't just like I'm gonna kill this
like
thing
he's not
easily.
like he's competent, but he's by no means an expert.
Right. Yes, and that's what I like about it. It feels more grounded in that sense.
Yeah, he feels less invincible, like the way Anakin Skywalker did.
Right, or even like Captain America or like James
Yeah,
Bond
yeah,
or
yeah.
stuff like that.
He doesn't feel like a soldier.
Right.
Like he feels like he's doing this like as a job.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I like.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we can kind of get into spoilers now. So if you haven't watched season 2, get the fuck out of here.
Um,
Um,
so
what do you want to talk about first?
I watched episode 2, I think, the one with the frog lady. I watched that 3 times.
I like that one a lot.
That's not why I watched it.
Why?
I watched it because I started watching it by myself. And I was like, I'm gonna watch this with my mother. So let me just not go through the whole thing on my own and then
Yeah.
watch it again with her. Not that I would mind that, but so then so I watched it by myself. I watched it with my mother, and then I went to my cousin's house. My uncle was watching it, so I sat down and watched it with him and my cousins. And I was like, why is this like it was a good episode, but in my opinion, it was like my least favorite of all of them.
Yeah, same.
But so I was like, why did I have to watch my least favorite 3 times?
Yeah, I kind of have a ranking set up for how I rank each episode. For me, it goes. My favorite episode was the Bill Burr episode.
Interesting.
That was 100% my favorite. Then second was probably the finale.
Interesting.
Then the episode with Cobb Vanth, the first one with the crate dragon.
Yes.
I love that one.
I always forget his name.
Then the Ahsoka episode, although that's kind of interchangeable with the Bo-Katan episode.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Where she shows up for because that's the one I was talking about, like the action.
Oh yeah, you're right. That one was really
where
good. Yeah,
her and the Night Owls pull up and just fucking wreck shop, like all great stuff. After that, the Return of Boba Fett.
How is that not higher on your list? That is like my number 1.
Because like I like everything in that episode. That episode is so fucking ugly.
After you watch it,
it looks terrible. It looks like they shot it in like fucking San Fernando Valley.
okay.
It just looked really. It looked like a fan film.
I loved it.
But like I liked everything that happened, and obviously Temuera Morrison is fucking awesome.
I do feel bad for the kid that played Boba Fett because like 2 years ago or something, like once they were like bringing like some characters back, he was like, "Oh, I'd love to come back and play like adult Boba Fett, like if they did a Boba Fett show or movie." And now I feel bad because he wanted to do that so badly.
I think they could still. I think they could still definitely bring him back.
Oh, 100%. But I just feel bad.
After in the post-credit scene for the finale, we got the announcement of the Book of Boba Fett coming Christmas 2021,
and we both called it too.
I think the way, because just the name, the Book of Boba Fett, I think it's going to be like an anthology type thing.
Right.
So it'll be like different points in his life. So we'll see like how he got out of the Sarlacc.
Oh, okay.
We'll see him as like a crime boss on Tatooine. We could see like flashbacks to Clone Wars era stuff because Daniel Logan voices him in the Clone Wars.
Is that the guy that played him as a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like there's plenty of stuff to do in different points of Boba Fett's life.
Because there's so much you can
we know nothing about him.
I just thought of something that we could see. You know Tobias Beckett from Solo?
Yeah.
So it's mentioned that he kills Aura Singh, who Boba Fett was like close with. So I wonder if we could see Tobias Beckett come back, so we'll see more Woody Harrelson.
One thing I was thinking was there was a deleted scene from the Clone Wars where Cad Bane and Boba Fett have a duel. And they both rip their guns off. Cad Bane dies, but that's how Boba Fett gets the dent in his helmet.
Oh.
So I'd like to see that maybe in live action.
Yeah, me too.
Just any excuse to get Cad Bane back.
As you were saying it, I was like, we can get live action Cad Bane, finally.
The coolest.
Did you know that he was supposed to be in Rogue One?
Really?
Yeah, Rogue One was supposed to be a completely different story. It was supposed to be about, it was going to start with her getting the Death Star plans. And they were going to send bounty hunters after them. So it was going to be like them being hunted the entire time. It was going to have like Bosk, Dengar, IG, whatever, not IG-11. IG-11's Mandalorian, right?
G88.
That's what I thought. Okay, that was my second choice. It was supposed to be them. Cad Bane was supposed to be in it, and then Rogue One came out. I completely forgot about that. That was supposed to happen. I realized it like a week after I saw it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that was supposed to be a different movie. Where was Cad Bane?"
Like I legitimately like love the third act of Rogue One.
Yeah, I love that movie.
The fuck, that sounds so much better.
I know. And Cad Bane's my favorite Star Wars character.
He's he's definitely my favorite bounty hunter.
Yeah,
Like
so.
he's fucking. God damn, that sounds so cool.
Because it was leaked like I think a year and a half before it came out, so I don't know if they like changed it because of that, but I doubt it. But I don't know. I was just like I realized it, and I was talking to my cousins about it at the time, and I was just like, this it made me sad.
It's so disappointing.
Yeah, it was just because Cad Bane. I don't think I would have cared if Cad Bane wasn't supposed to be in it.
Oh, man.
But I hope that he's in Boba Fett. That would be really cool if they brought like Aurra Sing back and they cast different people from her.
Like canonically, he's not dead.
He's not, yeah. Because my other cousin, I was talking. He's a big Star Wars fan, but because he was saying he's like, yeah, we were talking about the Clone Wars when it was coming out, and he's just like, yeah, Cad Bane was supposed to die, and I was like, well, I'm glad they didn't do that because he shouldn't die.
But like also like if that would be a cool way for him to die is like
yeah, if that's how he's gonna die, like I like that.
Like okay, the best bounty hunter in the world is killed by the next best bounty hunter in the world.
Right.
So yeah,
I
really hope we see him come back.
Me too. I would love to know who would you have play him?
Cad Bane.
Yeah.
Just CGI him and get back. I think it's Corey Burton does the voice. Okay. Just get him to come back because I don't want anyone else trying to do that voice.
If Clint Eastwood was younger, what do you think?
He wouldn't do it, but that would be kind of cool.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, he probably wouldn't do it, but like that, I think that because like I haven't seen any Clint Eastwood movies, like him as a Western like cowboy.
But I mean, Cad Bane is a cowboy.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so it's like have like the most famous movie cowboy play Cad Bane. That would have been cool.
Yeah,
but we're never gonna get that, so whatever.
Yeah, I just get Corey Burton back because he's fucking sick.
Yeah, especially was his voice modified or is that just his voice?
I don't because he has like attachments that like attach to his windpipe.
Well, quick tangent on that. He's not seen for a while, and then he comes back
and he doesn't have them
anymore.
Yeah,
so that confuses the hell out of me.
I don't know.
Like, there's no even answer as to why.
Maybe it's magnetic.
Maybe
it's like implants. I didn't finish going through my rankings. After the Boba Fett episode, I have Frog Mom. And then I have the episode back on Navarro where they go to the Imperial lab.
Yeah.
Because just who cares?
yeah, it wasn't the best episode. It was good, like I was saying before. Like
it was cool to see those characters again.
Yeah, which is what
I like. Yeah, the Bill Burr episode was absolutely my favorite.
That was a good episode. I love how he was like, I never saw your face. Like they were like building up to him seeing his face the entire time, and I was gonna be like, he's gonna leave and just gloat to everybody. I saw his face, and then what happens.
Yeah, like you see all like that's what I'm talking about. Like you see all these like one-off characters from last season coming back and getting like really strong characterizations.
Right. Yeah, and I like that a lot.
And like we find out Cara Dune was from Alderaan.
I feel like we knew that.
I don't think we did.
I thought it was mentioned in season 1.
I think that was this season because like she talks to the X-Wing guy.
Okay, speaking of that X-Wing guy, what a dumbass question. Did you lose anyone?
Did you lose anyone?
Are you fucking dumb? Like the whole planet blew up. She lost everybody. Like
yeah, not great. Not a great question.
Like I literally sat there. He asked that question. I was like, that was a dumbass question. My mom looked at me. She's like, what are you talking about? And then I explained it, and I was just like,
oh man. Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
But
And you predicted her line if you knew what happened to Alderaan.
Yeah.
I was like, she lost everything, and then she said it. I was like, I got it.
Yeah. What was I talking about before that?
Oh my bad.
Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that whole scene where he just fucking cracks and shoots the officer.
Yeah.
So good. And like this is the first time we not the first time we see Mando's face, because we saw it last season, but he was all sweaty and fucked up.
Right.
Like this is the first time we see his face where he's just hanging out.
Okay. This brings me to my only complaint. Why was his face scannable?
Yeah,
Like, I'm assuming their security system was, as long as you're not on like the ISB wanted list,
yeah,
then you're fine. But that makes no sense, because that means anybody that's not one could just walk in.
I do not understand that.
That like it was just like as great as like Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau are, it's just like little things like that where I was like, and it wasn't a lot this season, but it was just like little things like that where I was like, really, like you guys are smarter than this.
It's like the tracking fob. Like, how the fuck do tracking fobs work?
Right. Yeah, I didn't even think of
Like,
that.
it's just the one thing that's like, wait, hold up, because
Yeah.
this is kind of game breaking.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think it would have made more sense for
Bill
Bill
Burr to
Burr's
scan his
character.
face.
Yeah, and I know he was like afraid, but it was like I would have been like, come on, like go do it.
But I also like Mando didn't even hesitate in taking his helmet off.
No, he didn't.
Like he was like there was no there was no like dramatic reveal. It was just like fuck no. Like
Yeah,
I need to
and
do this. Yeah.
And I think it was smart though, because they showed that that's how much he cares. Like for a plot point, it was great.
Yeah.
But logically, made no sense.
Made no sense.
Great episode though. I think that's like my number
good.
2 or 3.
And like the whole like the action scene on top of the truck.
Oh, poor
where
Mando.
They're moving. Oh fuck! What's the shit they're moving? It's not coaxium. It's the. What the fuck?
Might have been coaxium.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Explosive stuff. Star Wars.
Or even look up Mandalorian specifically.
Rhydonium.
That's what it was.
Yeah, because that stuff's in Clone Wars.
Yeah, I knew the name was familiar. I was just like, yeah, it's somewhere.
It was Rye something. I knew that, but yeah, Rhydonium. Yeah, I really love that episode. It's just Bill Burr making fun of him the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's like, is the rule that you're not allowed to show your face, or you're not allowed to take the helmet off? Because those are very different.
That's true.
So I thought that was funny.
Oh, I also love that they explained that, because that was a big plot hole in season 1. It's like, but there have been Mandalorians that take their helmets off.
Exactly. And he's like, oh, he's part of a weird cult.
Well, she says the Watch, right? So that's Death Watch?
I don't think so, because Death Watch, she was in Death Watch.
Yeah, and she took her helmet off.
Yeah, so I think it's a separate thing.
So maybe
this is like post like Great Purge stuff.
Right. But I thought they said too that he was saved by Death Watch.
I don't know. Because he was.
I'm gonna Google it.
Okay. I don't think it's Death Watch, because I think they would have made it much more clear.
That's a show that would be great.
Death Watch, yeah, but you couldn't get my boy Pre Vizsla because Jon Favreau's the voice.
Is he actually?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Rescued.
It was
by Death Watch. Let's see. It comes up. I was once a foundling. After he was rescued by the Mandalorians of Death Watch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
By the time it was following the Great Purge, he was part of the tribe.
Because, which brings me to Bo-Katan and the Darksaber.
Right.
So, in season 4 of Rebels, she's given the Darksaber.
Another thing that I didn't like.
But no, I'll tell you why that might make sense. So she's given the Darksaber, and then sometime after that, the Empire comes and fucks up Mandalore.
Is that the Great Purge?
Yes.
Okay.
fucks up Mandalore, and somehow Moff Gideon gets the Darksaber from Bo. So my thinking is maybe because she didn't earn the Darksaber, the people couldn't like rally behind her when the Empire came. Like they didn't recognize
that's why
her.
they fell.
They didn't recognize her as a legitimate leader. So when the Mandalorian rolls around, she's like, I'm not fucking taking this thing again. I need to earn it.
Smart. That makes sense.
Like, I don't think that was just an oversight.
Yeah, because I remember texting you. I was like, "What the? She was given it already. What the? That's so stupid." And then, but that makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't like, especially when it comes to shit on Mandalore. Like, Filoni would not fuck that up. Like,
right. Exactly.
He knows what he's doing.
And I'm assuming we're gonna get more answers to that in season 3.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Now my other question. I just need clarification when the Great Purge was, because there were droids attacking when he was being rescued. So was that the beginning of the Empire? Because they show that in season 1, it's a super battle droid.
It takes. It could have been a Dark Trooper, like a prototype.
No, it was a super battle droid.
But have you seen
the blue ones?
Have you seen what the Dark Troopers, like the prototypes, look like? They look a lot like the super battle droids.
They do, but I saw like the regular battle droids too. I'm pretty sure.
Let me look up. Yeah, I do see the super battle droids, but
well, that wasn't the Great Purge though. That was just his village as a kid getting destroyed, and that's when Death Watch.
That's right. Yeah, and he became a foundling. Yeah,
right. And maybe that was just a rule for the foundlings that they told the foundlings, and then they just never took their helmets off in front of them.
Yeah,
where they're like, you never show your face.
Yeah. So, yeah, what was I saying?
Sorry.
But no, the Great Purge, that's between whenever Bo gets the Darksaber and the Mandalorian.
Right. Okay.
So,
because I always thought the Great Purge was like the Jedi Mandalorian War, and then I was like, that doesn't make sense though with the way they're talking about it.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the finale?
Yes, but Boba Fett coming back.
Yes.
And I felt he was underused after that. Like they could have used his help in other ways.
I disagree. I think he was in it because if anyone's gonna overshadow Mando, it's him.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I like that he was like, he's very much like, I'm here to help, but this is not my mission.
Right. Okay. I just thought, I was like, Fennec can pilot the thing. Boba Fett's more useful, but that actually kind of makes sense though.
As like Fennec became a much more interesting character this season.
Yes, and she's going to be in Bad Batch.
Yeah. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's great.
No, the finale was good.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked that the fight he had with the Dark Trooper. I thought that was cool, and he kind of jams its head off with the spear.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, moment of silence for his rifle.
Yeah, moment of silence for his everything.
Yeah, yeah.
We haven't even talked about the fucking baby's name is Grogu, which I love.
Grogu.
I fucking love that. That's such a good name. It's just dopey enough to work.
Yeah. You want to hear something funny about that? So my mom is a substitute teacher, right? So there are kids talking about Star Wars, like the Mandalorian, and they kept calling it Baby Yoda. So she goes, it's not actually Baby Yoda, right? Like, because it takes place like after that. And they're like, no, it's Baby Yoda. It's him as a child, and it's like it's kids. So she's like, all right, whatever. Then she saw that his name came out. She's like, so now it's not him, right? And they're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That's good.
They conceded.
Yeah. He was, my boy Grogu was great this season.
Yes. He didn't do a
Didn't
lot with the Force like he did. Like he used Force powers
yeah,
more in the first season, but he did that meditation thing.
yeah. But also it's established like that takes a lot out of him.
Yeah. So
And
I'm
also
like,
they're like he more or less cut himself off from the Force
yeah.
because we didn't even talk about this. He was at the Jedi Temple during Order 66.
That was crazy.
That's
And I'm guessing, no, never mind.
I bet the librarian got him out.
Probably because she lived.
My girl, Jocasta knew.
Yeah.
It's my gal.
Was it? Did you hear about the controversy with him eating the eggs?
Oh, he like did a genocide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense because it's not the end of the species, it's the end of her bloodline. So people weren't even paying attention.
I don't think
He
so.
said.
Because she was like, these are the last of my kind.
No, she said her line.
I don't know. I still think maybe I ought to try to do a genocide.
I disagree. I mean, I've watched that episode 3 times. So I'm pretty sure she said end of my line.
I don't know. But anyway. Yeah. Good baby stuff. Okay, should we talk about it?
Yeah. You're not gonna like what I have to say about it, but
So, the end of the episode, Moff Gideon is captured. They're holding him on the bridge, but there's like 20 dark troopers outside battering the door down, which I thought that was sick, that they were just gonna punch the fucking door down.
Yeah.
I love the dark troopers, but
They're a good concept.
and we see a single X-wing just pull up, like not even like fast. It just kind of strolls on by.
Right.
And the security footage, we see a man with a lightsaber cutting down dark troopers like they're nothing. Comes into the hallway, cuts them down, and then he comes into the room, and it's a man who's stolen Luke Skywalker's face.
Yes. Now, question: did you think it was Luke? Did you figure it out?
I as soon as I saw the green light, or as soon as I saw the X-wing, I was like, yeah, that's Luke.
As soon as I saw the black glove, I knew it was Luke.
Yeah.
But I had hope. I was like, Ezra?
See, I would have. Part of me was like, oh, I wish that was Ezra, but also,
Oh, I wish it was Ezra so much more.
that's not a satisfying conclusion to like the Where is Ezra storyline.
I do agree with that, and in considering it was Dave Filoni, I think he made sure that that didn't happen because I could see anybody else being like, "Oh, that Ezra guy, like let's just use him."
Because earlier on in the season, Ahsoka's like, where the fuck is Thrawn?
And then Ezra
Presumably-
had left with Thrawn, right?
Presumably looking for Ezra.
Yeah.
So if earlier on in the season you're like, where is Ezra? And then the finale they're like, oh, he's right there. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's why I was like, okay, I guess
Yeah.
they have more plans for him, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I was like kind of disappointed, and then I was more disappointed that they didn't get Sebastian Stan to play Luke because
also,
he
like,
looks so much like him.
I don't really care that much, especially if it's a one-off performance.
If it's just a one-off, that's fine.
Which
but
I think it is. I think it is.
If he comes back, they need to get Sebastian Stan. Which, that also brings up the question. They could do a limited series with Sebastian Stan as Luke and showing like him restarting the Jedi Temple. Maybe you have like a little young Ben Solo.
I'm so sick of Luke Skywalker.
That's fair, but then we can get Ben Solo becoming Kylo Ren.
But there's a comic about that. It's called The
Is
Rise of
there?
Kylo Ren.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's about Luke starting the Jedi Academy.
I didn't know that. Is Grogu in it?
No.
Does he kill Grogu? That's my question. Does Kylo Ren kill Grogu?
See, here's the thing. I don't think Grogu's going to be learning for very long. I think he's going to end up with Mando again.
Okay.
Because the dynamic is so strong.
Yeah, maybe they'll go a season without him and then he comes back.
Yeah.
They could do time travel and he comes back as an adult.
Oh my god. Okay, my thoughts on Luke. Okay, let me talk about fucking Luke Skywalker for a second.
Okay.
Let me fucking talk about Luke. So, when that episode came out, all I saw on Twitter was a bunch of shitty little diaper babies saying, "Oh, this is the Luke Skywalker we should have gotten. This is the Luke we deserved." First of all, shut the fuck up. You deserve nothing if that's your fucking attitude. Second of all, this scene with Luke Skywalker, first of all, it's not a character defining moment for Luke. It's a cool action sequence, looks great, but it's not a character moment for Luke. It's the same thing as the Vader scene from Rogue One. Like it doesn't say anything, it doesn't add anything to either of their characters. For me, it's just an indicator of where they are in their lives. Like that those scenes are representative of each character in their prime. This is the first time we've seen prime Luke on screen.
I agree with that.
So, with that, seeing Luke in his prime, seeing how capable he is here, and seeing him so prepared to start a new Jedi Order only makes The Last Jedi Luke more interesting. Because you see where he was, and then you see, oh, shit got fucked up.
I think, okay. Are you finished with your Luke point? Because then I'm going to go on my tangent.
I have more Luke points, but I'll let you rebut.
I feel similar to Luke as I do to the last season of Game of Thrones. I don't mind where it ended up, but I need to know. I think they should have explained more of how he got there. Like, he had so much hope for Darth Vader, who is so far gone, he had so much hope for him to turn back to the light. But when it comes to his own nephew, who he himself trained, he got scared and had like a lapse in judgment and went to kill him. To me, that just doesn't make sense. And that's why I refer to it like close to Game of Thrones, because like it just all their characters reverted, but they should have just taken more time to explain it.
Let me tell you why that is entirely in Luke's character to do that.
Let's see if I can change my mind.
Okay. Return of the Jedi. What happens? Luke is taken to the Emperor's throne room, and he starts fighting his dad.
Right.
And his dad starts being a dick and like egging him on. And he's like, maybe I'll just take your fucking sister instead. And Luke gets pissed off and he starts fucking swinging. He starts doing his classic Luke Skywalker, just chopping wood. And he cuts his dad's hand off. And he pulls his lightsaber back. He's about to fucking kill his dad. But then he has that moment where he's like, maybe I won't.
Oh.
And then that is exactly what happened with Ben Solo.
Okay, I've never thought of it that way.
He had a moment where he was like, I can like do this shitty thing. Oh, I'll snap out of it because there's clearly a better way to go about this.
And it was just too late.
But with Ben, he didn't get that resolution because Ben woke up and saw Luke holding a lightsaber over his head.
Okay. I've never thought of it that way. So I thank you for your point.
Yeah, it is entirely in Luke's character to do that. Because that darkness is so inherent to Luke's character. Like he's not this
really to every Skywalker.
He's not this perfect like force of light in the galaxy, despite what every 40-plus-year-old Star Wars fan seems to think.
Right.
He's not this like be all end all fucking John Wick Jedi.
Right.
Like he's a dumb kid who didn't really learn properly, so he has to do a lot of this shit on his own.
The sacred text. Sorry.
I love that. I fucking love that part in The Last Jedi where Yoda's just like, "Fuck you, I'll burn the books." Oh man. And that's part of the reason I love The Last Jedi, is it's like, yeah, all these Jedi seem to do, they almost exclusively fuck up.
Okay, that's fair. I really have not thought about it that way, so thank you for bringing me your point.
I can't take too much credit for coming to that conclusion. There's this guy on TikTok, I think his name's like Element 7 or something. His whole page is just Star Wars lore. Like he goes so in depth on everything, and he
Okay.
explains why the Last Jedi is very Luke Skywalker.
Shout out to Element 7 on TikTok.
Yeah, definitely check him out because his page is fucking awesome.
I'll check him out. But I do think that, I don't know. Like now that you explain it, like that makes sense to why it would be in his character. But I feel like for like you said, like 40+ year olds, like they need more, like to show that. Like that's why I think it would be cool if they did like a Clone Wars, but of him starting the Jedi Temple and stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
also
I
get
mean,
the oversaturation of Luke Skywalker and how
yeah,
they're trying to veer away from the Skywalkers because we've done it so much.
and it's like you guys don't want to see anything interesting done with Luke. You just want to see him do backflips and swing a lightsaber.
I want to see him do cool things, just for the record.
Which you get in the finale of The Mandalorian.
Yes.
And in
True.
all the comics set between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens.
Those I have to read.
Yeah.
Or should read.
Apparently The Rise of Kylo Ren is very good.
Okay.
I've heard.
Darth Vader is very good. One of the
I've
Darth
heard
Vader
that.
runs.
I've heard most of them are really good.
Yeah, I've only read one, but it's very good. I think I've read all 4 volumes. I have to double check that though. I don't know if I finished it. But yeah, because the one I read is him starting the Inquisitors.
Oh, nice.
And that one's really good. So if you get into any of them, definitely read that one. But
I just replayed Jedi Fallen Order for the second time.
I haven't played that.
It's a lot of fun. And you battle 2 Inquisitors in that.
Right, yeah, that's the second sister, and then I don't know.
And the 9th sister.
She might have been in the book.
She's the big, huge, burly yellow one.
Yeah, she's in the book.
Yeah, she's sick.
Mm-hmm. I haven't played that, and I haven't watched the cutscenes for it, which I want to do. I almost bought it on Black Friday.
I would definitely play it if you can. Like it's so fun.
I was gonna get that and then Squadrons, but they didn't have them at the GameStop I went to.
Squadron's good. I've heard good things.
I watched gameplay. It's all right. I was supposed to get it with some of my friends, but one friend's a little epileptic and there's a lot of flashing, so we ended up not getting it.
I've heard it's like if you're into like flight sim stuff, then it's a good time.
Right.
So I might look into it.
I think I would get it if it's like $10. I feel like that's a good $10 game. I'm not paying
it's
like
only
full
like
price.
It's only like 40 on its own. Like it's not a full price game already.
Oh,
but yeah, I would wait for it to go on sale.
Yeah.
That's
what I did with Avengers.
Yeah. Well, I haven't gone back in. I'll wait for Hawkeye to come out proper because I know Kate Bishop's out, but
yeah, Kate Bishop I think just came out.
I'll wait for Clint.
They did him like, just small tangent. They did him so dirty. They excluded him from so much. And he's like a great character just in general, not just because he's one of my favorites and I have a hat based off of him, but he's just such a good character. Anyway, we can save that for a more video.
If we don't have anything else to say about The Mandalorian, I have some rapid fire Star Wars questions from some friends of mine.
Do it.
Just some quick one-off things. So this is a fairly cut and dry one. Who shot first?
Like between
Han and Greedo.
Han.
Yeah, well, it depends on the version of the movie you're watching, but obviously in the original cut, Han shoots first. And then George Lucas changed it. So Greedo shot first because they didn't want Han to seem like a bad guy, even though he is a bad guy. So it makes more sense for him to shoot first. And then there was another cut where they shoot at the same time, I think.
I think that's the one I've seen.
And then there's another one where Greedo says McClunky, which is my favorite one.
I might have seen that. It might have been.
But on Disney Plus, when they added it to Disney Plus, they added in Greedo saying McClunky, and then he gets shot.
Jeez.
And funny enough, in the post credits for The Mandalorian, you hear Bib Fortuna say McClunky. So the return of McClunky.
Oh, I thought that was so funny how he got fat.
Oh, I love that. It's so good. And he just gets fucking shot like nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, Boba Fett, crime lord. So excited for that. Okay. Another question. Which of the prequels is the best? Revenge of the Sith.
I haven't seen them in a while to really like give a fair answer. I always liked episode 2 though as a kid because there were so many Jedi in it.
Oh, I hate that though. I hate. We'll talk about the prequels another day, but
Yeah,
the
I'll
bastardization.
rewatch them so we can talk.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'll rewatch them too.
That could be our first commentary.
Oh, I have to sit through the Phantom
It'll be a
Menace.
3-parter.
Oh Christ. I think it's Revenge of the Sith. I think it's the only one that's inherently watchable.
Okay.
Yeah. Also Grievous looks cool.
Yeah.
I wish he was a character.
That'd be a good show. If they show his origin, that'd be really good.
Yeah, because a lot of it's not canon anymore.
Right.
Why did Leia kiss her brother?
I'm a hope and say she shouldn't know.
Shouldn't know. But she also
It was just to make Han jealous.
In Return of the Jedi, she also says, "I think I've always known," which is like, are you sure?
George
Are you
Lucas,
sure
what
that's
were
something you want to
doing?
say?
Yeah.
Which I know that's another thing is like, oh, people don't like the sequel trilogy because it wasn't well planned out. And it was like, do you think they knew what the fuck they were doing with the original trilogy?
Right. Like
come on.
Like I feel the prequels would be more planned out because they knew where they needed to go.
The prequels were a fucking mess, but the sequels,
they didn't have any direction.
Yeah, but it's the same as more or less. Like I bet they knew where they wanted characters to end up.
Right, but they're
still flying by the seat of their pants.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
A hot button question here: is Chewbacca annoying? No. We love Chewbacca on this show.
R.I.P. the actor that played him.
Are the Sith better than the Jedi? They have cooler outfits.
Yes, and clearly they've been winning.
Yeah, they get to do cool shit like get married.
Yeah.
and not be weird, sterile priests.
Right. I feel like that wasn't followed a lot. You can't control your emotions like that.
Another one, I like this one. Why the fuck is Anakin a whiny little child?
In what iteration?
All of them.
All of them?
All of the prequels. Especially Attack of the Clones.
Okay, yeah. In the Hayden Christensen, yeah. But I didn't feel he was very whiny in Clone Wars.
No, in Clone Wars he's great. He's a human being in that show. And not a weird, like, sociopath.
Right.
But, best villain.
Maul.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Palpatine.
For me, close second, Cad Bane.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. The more I think about it, the better he is.
I prefer Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul definitely top.
This isn't a question I have here, but best side character in Star Wars?
Rex.
Hondo.
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
I fucking love Han, especially in Rebels.
Oh, speaking of that, biggest missed opportunity Star Wars. Why did Rex not have a confrontation with Cody in Rebels? Like they did a clone-centric episode where he was like, "Oh, this is the war again."
Well, Cody's probably dead.
Not in Rebels. Or maybe not. You might be right, but I know I saw lore somewhere that he ended up commanding a lot of the stormtroopers.
Yeah. Let's see what happened to Cody. Is this canon? Okay, we are in canon. He assisted in the final enslavement of Kashyyyk. So fuck you, Cody. You fucking dick. I'm trying to find anything about his death. Death.
I don't think there is stuff.
Nothing concrete about his death, other than he was just Serving as a stormtrooper.
Right. So yeah, I think it was a missed opportunity because if he is alive at that point, why didn't they do it?
Well, there's always room to see
Yeah,
something.
for the future. Yeah, that's fair.
Like if you want to set something in between.
Do you think we're gonna see Rex and Ahsoka?
Oh, I hope so.
That'd be cool.
Get Temuera Morrison back again.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say people are gonna get confused, so they make sure he has a beard.
Yeah. Have you seen that theory that like he's in Return of the Jedi, Rex?
Yes, I have seen that.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Dave Filoni is like I can't say officially that that's canon because that character has a name, but he's like it's Rex.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like. Best light side Force user.
Ahsoka or Ezra or Kanan?
Yeah, I really like Kanan. I really like Ahsoka. I really like Cal Kestis from Fallen Order.
I have to get into.
He's really fucking cool.
I have to say Ahsoka, to be honest.
Yeah, probably Ahsoka.
Yeah, because then if I say Ezra or Kanan, I have to put Obi-Wan and Mace Windu and Yoda in there.
Oh fuck, never mind. Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's my favorite character. No, for the purposes of this, I'll say Ahsoka because she's not a Jedi.
Yeah, she just uses the light side over the dark side.
So I'll give you that.
She can accept she sees the Jedi for what they are and how they're not perfect, and that's why, in my opinion,
Which, by that metric, I think there's only one answer for the next question: best dark side Force user, Maul, because not a Sith.
Not a Sith.
He's just a fucking asshole.
It's so true.
I love that line in Rebels where they're at the Sith temple and he's like, 2 Jedi and a part-timer, and he's talking to Ahsoka.
2 Jedi and a part-timer.
Oh, he's so good.
I have to rewatch Rebels.
He's so great. How come the droids showed human feeling?
Comedic purposes.
Yeah. I wonder, I saw the headline of an article the other day.
That was we forgot about a droid story.
Oh yeah. That's animated, right?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel.
I'm down for it.
I'll watch it, but I'm just like, it's my least, it's the lowest on my list.
I like 3PO and R2, so.
Oh, yeah, same. Yeah, some people like 3PO is annoying. I'm like,
He is, but
he's funny.
Yeah. Here's one close to the topic of today's episode. What's going to happen to Grogu after season 2?
I think he's going to train with Anakin for a while, and then I think he's technically a kid. He's not a baby. Like, he's over 20 years old.
Well, he's 50.
Oh, they said he's 50?
Yeah, they said in season 1 he's 50.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In the first episode, they're like, yeah, here, I need you to track down this 50-year-old.
Right.
And Mando's like, okay. And then he sees this baby. So, like, biologically, he's a baby still. He's an infant.
Yeah.
Because Yoda's like 900. So Yoda would be like a teenager.
Right.
Like, say, like, biologically, Baby Yoda's 6 months old.
Okay. So I think he's going to train with Luke for a while. Obviously, there's a long time in between, like, now and Kylo Ren. So that's another 20, 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he's going to leave before shit hits the fan.
Yeah, definitely. I think...
maybe he goes with Ezra. Maybe he doesn't agree with the Jedi and then finds Ezra.
I think by the end of season 3, we'll have an idea of what's going on with him because... Like, I don't think they're going to be apart for long.
No. But I do think if they bring Luke back and it's not a one-off, like if he's going to be in like a full episode, please don't CG him. Just get Sebastian Stan. He's said he'll do it.
I think they just need to fine-tune the CG.
That's fair.
But what era of the Star Wars continuity do you prefer?
Clone Wars.
Yeah, I love the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. I love the clones. I love the Jedi.
Yeah.
Clone Wars, 100%.
Just like because I shotgunned all of Clone Wars in like a week.
Nice.
And it's so good.
So good.
And especially for what it does to these shitty, awful movies.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't make them better movies, but it makes the stuff introduced in those movies inherently more interesting.
And makes Anakin's story so much more tragic.
It makes Anakin a person.
Right. Instead of just being like, oh, he's got issues, man.
That's the two highlights from Clone Wars is what they do for Anakin and what they do for Maul.
Right.
Make them characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was Kylo Ren's redemption arc good or bad?
No. Good. I mean, bad.
Bad. I'm back and forth.
I feel the same way as I did with Game of Thrones. Like, it would have been fine. You just needed to get me there a little bit better.
Yeah, I love the twist in The Last Jedi that he's like, the whole time he's like, yeah, like, let's help each other. And then at the end, he's just like, what if we were the Empire?
Yeah.
Like, he's just playing Rey the whole time to become the Supreme Leader, which I fucking love that. I love, like the whole time you're like, is this guy, like, good?
Right.
But then they're like, no.
Now, I know you love The Last Jedi, but what do you think about them killing Snoke? I think they should have.
I don't care.
Really?
Don't care.
I thought he was so interesting, and then they killed him, and I was kind of upset.
But he's just like a proxy for the Emperor, so who cares?
Fair enough.
Because in the beginning of The Rise of Skywalker, you see in his lab, he's got like a jar of Snokes.
Oh, yeah, no. Once I found out that, I didn't care. But it was like, at the time, I was like, he could have been so interesting. I want to know everything about him. I still kind of feel that way. I'm like, really? He was just a clone? Like, how did they make a clone with force powers? But
I saw this really interesting, it was from one of like the making of books for The Last Jedi. It's like they Ryan Johnson wanted to make him like the Wizard of Oz. How like he's not inherently that powerful, so he uses like theatrics and shit to make himself seem like a big deal. Like his whole room, it's just fucking red. Like you don't like, is this curtains? Is this walls?
Right.
And then later on when he's killed and you're like, oh, this guy's not really that powerful, the curtains burn down and you're like, oh, they're just fucking curtains. So it's like you're kind of pulling back the facade of what Snoke is, which I thought that was so fucking interesting. Because Ryan Johnson cares about Star Wars. Was Finn's character sidelined in the second and third movies?
Yes.
In the third,
no.
I liked him a lot. I like his story in the second one with Rose, and because it follows like that kind of whole movie's message of like failure.
Like they failed to save the slave children.
Well, I was thinking more like they got everyone killed.
That too.
Because if they had like just followed Holdo's plan, they would have been fine. Right. But and that's another thing with Poe is like he fucked up and then he fucked up again and he kind of learns his lesson.
Yes, I do agree that Holdo should have explained herself though, because you see that how much of a hothead he is. Do you really think he's going to sit and do nothing and listen to you? Well, I agree he was stupid, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But also, like, you can't give him too much information because he's just going to go off and do his own thing anyway.
That's true. It was kind of like a lose-lose situation when it came to him.
What do you think they could have done differently with Finn? I don't know.
Well, his whole thing, JJ was saying, was that he was going to be... I love how I say JJ like I know him personally.
Yeah, my boy JJ.
He's... The thing he was going to tell Rey... First of all, that was stupid that he didn't tell Rey what he wanted to tell him. That he had to say it off screen. That he is force sensitive.
That whole time. I cannot believe that was allowed to stay in the movie like that. The whole time. He mentions it multiple times. Rey, I have something I need to tell you. I hope you're ready to fucking die wondering what he needs to tell her. Because the movie's not going to tell you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they should have said it. That could have been like a
Oh, Lord.
post-credit scene, to be honest. Or
Or show a flash forward 5 years from now where he's training with her.
Yeah, I think that would have been smart. And then you could do a cartoon. You could just do so much more after that. But
Man.
I know all the actors don't want to do it anymore. So
Yeah, I feel bad for what's his name? Plays Finn.
what's his name?
Oh, it's bothering me. Finn. Actor. John Boyega. Because he's great.
He's a good actor.
And he should have. I wish they gave him more to do. Because he's great in The Force Awakens. He's good in The Last Jedi.
He was okay in Pacific Rim.
Although I will admit, I liked his story in The Last Jedi. It did feel a little bit removed from everything else that was going on, but also everything he was doing was in service of the plot.
Right.
So I didn't mind it.
I saw a meme that said, "Will they ever give this guy a line that isn't Ray?" And I was like, "Nope."
I haven't even watched The Rise of Skywalker since it came out, so I don't remember what his arc was in that, if he had an arc.
He didn't.
Yeah.
The only arc he had is there were more stormtrooper deserters. That was it.
Yeah. Maybe they could have dove more into that.
Yeah.
That he didn't really want to join the rebellion at first, but he did.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because he just wanted to be on his own. But
yeah.
I don't know. I feel he was a little sidelined considering he was a main character in the first movie, and then he ends up not being really involved in the next two.
Yeah. Next question. We have two more. Where do you think the story of Cal Kestis is going? So I know you don't know much about Cal, right?
No, I don't know anything about it. All I know is that he's played by Cameron Monaghan.
Yes, he is.
And I know his origin. I know that his master helped him escape the Jedi Temple, like most masters help their Padawans.
Yeah, during Order 66.
And I know that his little mentor in that scavenger ship that he was working with got killed. That's all I know.
Yeah. Prof.
Yeah, I called that one. I think my cousin was playing it. I think I was sitting with him, and I was like, "That guy's gonna die." Yeah. I didn't say it, but I thought it.
Yeah. In that case, I don't really want to spoil anything for you.
You can if you want.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna watch the cutscenes. I don't think I'm gonna play it.
I definitely recommend you should if you can get your hands on it. But so basically, the plot of that story is you and your team are hunting down you're trying to figure out how to unlock a Jedi holocron that has the location of every Force sensitive child. So it's essentially the tools to rebuild the Jedi Order.
So do you think that he could start his own Jedi Order at the same time Luke is starting his?
Here's the thing. During the...
Oh, wait, when does it take place?
It takes place Empire, right? 5 years after Revenge of the Sith, I believe.
Okay, so during 4, 5, and 6.
Right before 4, 5, and 6.
Before, okay, so
yeah, it's closer to the prequels than it is to the original trilogy.
Okay, you would say it overlaps with Rebels at all, or no?
No, because Rebels is
3 years before, right? 4 years.
It's before and the same year as Episode 4. So, but yeah, so at one point you have a Force vision where it's what happens if you do start your own Jedi temple. Oh, the Empire comes to hunt you and takes all your students and makes them Inquisitors. So at the end of the game, Cal makes the decision to destroy the holocron, and you leave, you trust the Force to guide these kids rather than kind of pull them out of their lives, which is I like as an ending.
I can respect that.
There is a sequel in the works, so I'm wondering where they kind of go from there. Maybe because the whole point of it is Cal is scared of being a teacher.
That makes sense.
So I think they're gonna come across one Force sensitive kid.
Grogu. No, I know it's not, but
I think it's gonna be like you're. It's gonna be Cal kind of struggling to teach this kid
that'd be They could do like
because
a little time jump.
because
Oh.
also
I like God of War.
your like mentor in that game, she was a Jedi, and she helped her Padawan and a bunch of younglings escape Order 66. But she was captured, and she was like interrogated into giving up the kids that she saved, and her Padawan became the second sister.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
Wow, I gotta watch these cutscenes.
Yeah, it's really great. The gameplay's so fun. It's the best lightsaber combat I've ever played.
Okay. I've never been like a fan of those types of games, so I'll definitely give it a shot though.
Yeah, and like even like when you finish the main story, it gives you incentive to go back to all the different planets, and like you get to track down different ponchos for Cal to wear.
Oh, there's like a post game,
Yeah,
basically.
it's like just when you're
little
done
side quests.
when you're done with the main story, it's just getting all the unlockables.
Okay.
You can get different outfits, different ponchos, different skins for your droid, and different skins for your ship.
Oh, cool.
It's a lot of fun.
I just had a great idea.
Oh,
An Assassin's Creed game, but Star Wars.
that would kind of slap.
Right?
I kind of like that.
Dave Filoni, take notes.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any other thoughts on Cal. A lot of people were convinced that like he was going to be the one to save Grogu in the Mandalorian.
That would have been cool.
Which yeah, but also like the same thing with Ezra. That's not a satisfying conclusion to his character arc. Yeah,
especially if they're gonna make another game.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like obviously we'll definitely see him in live action at some point because it's Cameron Monaghan.
And
But
he's such a good actor.
He's
so
great.
That would be great.
I like seeing him as a hero because I don't like his
Joker.
I don't like his Joker that much.
But I haven't watched full Gotham, so I haven't seen Jeremiah or.
It's very over the top, but not in like a good way.
Okay.
Like he's as Cal, he's very like measured and kind of a goof, but it's a good time. He's like Ginger Luke.
Okay.
Yeah. And the last question we have here: who took the child from the Jedi Temple? And we kind of touched on this earlier. I think it was probably the librarian.
Probably, and that's probably why he was alone though, because I'm guessing she was killed. Because she did, I think she died. Because she was in. Do you want a spoiler?
Go for it.
So she was in the Darth Vader comic that I was telling you about. I think she was killed in that, or she was captured. One of the two. Because I know there's a huge fight with them, like between her and I think the Grand Inquisitor. To reread that to make sure.
I know a lot of people said maybe Mace Windu. Mace Windu's dead.
It's sad. Yeah, I wish he wasn't. But
He's dead.
There's no way he lived.
Like it's not even like oh maybe he survived. It's like no, in like one of the like the canonical like character guidebooks, his thing says deceased.
Damn.
Like he's dead.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know really who else it could be. Like unless it's just another Jedi,
unnamed Jedi,
another Jedi that survived. Yeah, we don't really know.
No. That's if they want to. I mean, it's Dave Filoni, so he'll probably do callbacks to other characters. But
yeah, I think it makes the most sense for it to be Jocasta Nu. So, anyway. Do you have any more thoughts about Star Wars?
I do not.
This is a good episode for me because all I've been thinking about for the past like month is Star Wars.
I agree. I've been very Star Wars hype.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the Mandalorians. Like they made a Nerf blaster, but the Mandalorian's blaster. You know how expensive that thing is?
Wait, what happened?
They made a Nerf gun that is the Star Wars, the Mandalorian's
Oh,
rifle.
it's his gun. Yeah.
$100.
They came out with they're coming out with the dark saber, like a replica.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like $200.
Oh man,
It's like I
wanted that.
can't justify it. If I ever go to like Galaxy's Edge and I have like money to burn, then I'll buy a lightsaber there.
Oh, I'm doing it. I don't care if I don't have money to burn. I'm gonna do it. But I also have no plans on going there because COVID. But
yeah. Oh, maybe we'll go and do an episode about it.
We'll vlog.
Oh my god.
I have a camera. We can vlog.
Did it open up in Florida yet?
It's a good question. I don't know.
Because I know
if Disney's open, I could see that being open.
And I know it's like been out in Cali.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd love to get a lightsaber from there. I'd probably. What lightsaber would you get?
I wouldn't. I would want to make my own. I would not want to make or get someone else's saber.
But I'm talking about like the proper like replicas that they have.
Oh, like if I wanted to get a replica of it?
Yeah, because the ones, yeah, because the
100%.
ones they have at Galaxy's Edge are like 1:1 scale, like the proper like metal and shit. I'd probably get Obi-Wan's.
That makes sense.
But his episode 3 and 4 one.
Okay.
It's the one that looks just like Luke's green lightsaber.
Right.
Like it's the same hilt, but blue. That's another thing about Fallen Order is you build a new lightsaber at one point, and you get to choose your crystal color.
That's cool. So similar to like Force Unleashed.
Yeah. And like if you pick one, you still get all of them to unlock to customize, because you have like a little workbench in your ship that you can.
That's pretty cool.
Like there's so many different lightsaber parts to collect, and kind of customize it however you want.
That's pretty cool.
I think the colors you can only get red when you play New Game Plus, and you also, when you do New Game Plus, you get Inquisitor armor.
Oh, okay. Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, which I on my replay I did New Game Plus, and I just played the whole way through with the red lightsaber and the Inquisitor armor.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, great game. I really like the first time around. I was kind of lukewarm on it, but like second time around, when you really get into it, it's a lot of fun.
Okay. I'll definitely get it when it goes on sale.
Definitely. Oh, all right. If we don't have anything else to say, I think we can wrap it up. We'll try to record another one of these soon.
Yes.
Probably more Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Because we can't help it. We kept this under 2 hours. Good. All right, I will cut this down and edit it. All righty, until next time, everybody. Peace.